What is going on, guys? It is Panjno here, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys the ultimate FPS increase guide for the Call of Duty Black Ops 4 Blackout Beta. With inside of this video, we're going to be aiming to give you guys the best experience possible by offering you guys the highest frame rates you can possibly get, lowering any input lag or any micro stuttering you might be receiving, and just overall optimizing the game just a little bit further with competitive settings and giving you guys the best fine balance of visual quality and performance. With inside of this video, there'll be configs featured for everything from ultra low end PCs all the way up to the latest and greatest in high end hardware. Regardless of what sort of machine you're running on, you should be seeing good results across the board. This guide features many optimizations and it's going to be pretty fast paced compared to my other guides, as I wish to get this out as fast as possible for you guys and to ensure that you guys can get the best results possible as quickly as possible. So with all that being said and done, before we get into the video, if you guys do enjoy this video, please do like the video and share it around with any friends, family, teammates, or anyone on Discord or any social media platforms that also plays the Blackout Beta who could benefit from the optimizations in this video. And if you guys do enjoy content like that, please do think about subscribing to the channel and pressing that bell notification to be notified instantly if there are any updates to the Blackout Beta videos in which I release, or just other updates or suggested videos in which I release in the future. And last but not least, if you guys can comment down below any questions, queries, results, and suggestions for more content, that would be deeply appreciated as well. So with all that being said and done, let's get straight into the video to keep this as fast and as simple and to the point as possible. So starting off with inside of the guide, what you guys will need to go ahead and do is navigate into the description down below and you'll find a download link for an FPS increase pack which has been provided. Inside of this pack, you'll be finding all of the folders, files, configs, and everything you need to follow along with this video in a nice, small, little, neat package. So simply click on the top link. If the top link doesn't work, try out the second one, download the file and put it onto your desktop, and it should look very similar to this, but the icon might look different. The file will be titled Black Ops 4 Blackout FPS by Panjno. What you guys will need to do to open up this program is have a program called 7-zip, or you could have WinRAR. If you don't have either of those programs installed, take yourself over to Google one of them, install one, come back to the video, and you're good to go. Once you guys have got one of them installed, simply right click on the file and select extract here. This will then provide you with a folder in your desktop with an identical name. Inside of the folder, you'll be finding the configs folder and the optimizations folder, which contain everything we're going to be using to follow along with this video. So starting off, we're going to be going ahead with the easy optimizations, starting off with the Blizzard launcher. What we're going to be doing is simply navigating into our Battle.net or Blizzard launcher, and we're going to start off by going into the top left hand side and selecting the Blizzard logo. What we're then going to be doing is going down to settings. Inside of here, we're going to be going over to the General tab, and first of all, what we're going to be doing is navigating down to Allow Multiple Instances of Battle.net, and we're actually going to be unchecking this option if it's checked. What we also want to do is go down to the first drop-down menu, which is when I click X at the top of the window. We want this to be selected to Exit Battle.net. We're then going to be going down to When I Launch a Game, and we're also going to be setting this to Exit Battle.net completely. We can then scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you'll find the option for Advanced Settings, Use Browser Hardware Acceleration when available. Make sure that this is also unchecked. We're then also going to be going over to the Streaming tab on the left-hand side, going over to the option for Enable Streaming and actually making sure that that is now disabled. And once those have been applied, simply navigate to the bottom right hand side and select Done. Proceeding on from there, what we can now go ahead and do is actually go into our game installation directory to further optimize the game files themselves. To do this is actually very simple. Navigate over to Call of Duty Black Ops 4 with inside of the Blizzard launcher, go to the Options tab found here at the top, select that, then scroll down until you find the option for Show in Explorer, and this will open up your game directory folder. Simply then go ahead and double click on the Black Ops 4 folder, and inside of here you should be seeing a similar amount of files as I am. Inside of this folder, we're going to start off by going over to the Black Ops 4 launcher, right-clicking on the launcher and selecting Properties. Inside of here, we're going to be going over to Compatibility tab. Inside of the Compatibility tab, we're then going to be going down towards the bottom and finding the option for Disable Full Screen Optimizations. We can also go and select the option for Change High DPI Settings, and then find the option for Override High DPI Scaling Behavior Performed by, selecting that also, pressing OK, and pressing Apply, and OK. We're then going to repeat that step for the Black Ops 4 application found here as well. And last but not least, going over to Black Ops 4 Boot. And this now leads us on to installing our customized, optimized game config files. To do this, we're going to be navigating into the players folder found here, and you'll find a config configuration setting with inside of here, and you'll also see a folder with a bunch of random numbers and letters, which is going to be your personal profile's config as well. So to start off inside of here, what we're going to be doing is simply dragging this over to the right hand side of the screen. We're then going to go into the FPS pack provided by double clicking and dragging this over to the left side. We're then going to be going inside of the configs folder in the FPS pack. Once you guys open up the configs folder, you'll be greeted with 4 optimized game configs, featuring high-end, medium-end, ultra-low-end, and low-end configs. For the fastest and most effective optimizations, I recommend matching this config to your system specs. So if you guys are running on a high-end PC, select the high-end config. If you're on a medium-end PC, go with the medium-end config. So assuming I'm recording this video on my high-end PC, I'm going to be going into the high-end config by going into the folder, and you'll be met with a config file in here. Now, before we actually go ahead and install our optimized config file, we can further tailor it towards our PCs to make sure that we get the best optimizations possible. So to do this, we're going to simply go ahead and double click on the config file in which we're going to install. Simply scroll down until you find the setup options found here, and we're going to be looking for the option which is thread count for handling the job queue. With inside of here, this will more than likely be set to a random number, but what we're going to be doing to find out the number in which should be set for our PCs for the best results is what we can do is we can right click on our taskbar down below and select Task Manager. With inside of the Task Manager, we can go up to Performance, we can then click on CPU, and in the bottom right hand side you should then be seeing Cores and Logical Processors. We're going to be going down to the Logical Processors tab, and whichever that number is there is the number we're going to be setting for our thread count inside of Black Ops 4. So for instance, as you can see, my Logical Processors count is 6, so I'm going to be going over to Worker Threads and inputting the number of 6. You guys might have 2, 4, 6, 8, you could have all the way up to 16, regardless of what the number is inside of there. Make sure that you set the number with inside of here as well. But for me, I have 6, so I'm going to input my number. And then once you guys have input your number, simply go ahead to File and select Save. You can then exit out of the config, and we're ready to go ahead and install this to our game files. What you'll then simply go ahead and do is right click on the config file within here and select Copy. You can then go into your Players folder within inside of the game in which we opened up earlier on, right click and hit Paste. We're then going to be replacing the file in this destination to install our optimized config file. We can then proceed to go up to the folder with the random numbers and letters. Yours will probably have a different name than mine, and that's absolutely fine. Just double click on the folder and you'll also find another config in there. We're simply going to go ahead and right click again, hit Paste, and replace the file in this destination once again. And you guys have now successfully installed your optimized game config files. Proceeding on from there, we can now apply some optimizations to Windows itself to further enhance our FPS with inside of Black Ops 4 and pretty much every game we play. Starting off, we're going to be going ahead to the bottom left hand side, clicking on the Windows button and typing in power. Find any of the battery icons with a cord going around it, just like so. Should say something along the lines of a power plan. Doesn't matter what the option says, just find this icon and click on it. With inside of here, go to the top to the directory and select power options. With inside of here, simply navigate down to the show additional power plans drop down menu. And with inside of here, we're going to be selecting the ultimate performance power plan. Now for any of you guys who do not have the ultimate performance power plan and this is not available on your computer, you can simply go ahead to the top right hand side of the screen now, click on the card, and it will take you to a video in which will show you how to unlock this power plan with inside of Windows 10. Everybody can get their hands on it and it's highly recommended, and so many people's stuttering issues on games have been fixed just by applying this Windows power option. Just like everything with inside of this video, it's incredibly safe to do, there are no risks, it will not increase heat, and it's absolutely fine and highly recommended. For any of you guys who do not wish to follow that video and just wish to follow this one, you can go with the high performance power plans. That should do a good enough job, but if you guys can, select the ultimate performance power plan if you can. Once you guys have selected that power plan, we're simply going to go ahead and exit out. We can then proceed to go into the FPS pack provided by double clicking, this time going inside of the optimizations folder, and you'll be met with CPU core parking setup and timer resolution. On the CPU core parking setup, we're simply going to be going ahead and double clicking. The setup wizard will then open up and you'll see a brief explanation as to what CPU core parking is in the bottom right hand side. Again, it's highly recommended and incredibly safe to do, and there are no risks, and I've yet to see a PC not receive a benefit from using this. We're going to be going ahead and selecting next, accept the terms to the license agreement and accept next again, click next and install. After a few moments the program will install, ensure that it's set to launch when you press finish, and press finish. After a few moments the program will open up and it should look very similar to this, but your numbers will more than likely be set differently to mine, and that's absolutely fine. What we're going to be doing is simply starting off by going over to the system power plan drop down menu and selecting the power plan in which we set in the previous step. So if you went with high performance, select high performance. If you went with high, select high. Simply go ahead and match your power plan just like so. We can then proceed to go down to core parking index and drag this up to 100% to have 100% of our CPU cores unparked. We can then go to frequency scaling index and again drag the blue slider up to 100% for 100% of the speed of those cores. And last but not least, if you do have the option available, go to turbo boost index if it is there for you guys, and again up to 100% just like so. Once all of those optimizations have been applied, press apply, press OK, and we can then exit out of core parking, and the optimization is completely done. Now for most of you guys who are playing Blackout, you'll more than likely be running programs in the background, and I highly recommend closing out of as many of these as you possibly can. But I know some of you out there will still keep some of them open, whether it be Discord, Google Chrome or Spotify. Now the important thing is, if you guys are going to be running these, is to ensure that you disable the hardware acceleration mode with inside of them. For Google Chrome users, it's very simple, simply boot into Google Chrome, navigate up to the top right hand side to the 3 dots found here, click on the 3 dots and select settings. With inside of here, simply scroll all the way down to the bottom and you'll find the Advanced tab. Click on the Advanced tab once, and again scroll all the way to the bottom once more, and you'll find the options for continue running background apps when Google Chrome is closed, and ensure that the flicker switch is switched off. You'll then also find use hardware acceleration when available, and again, make sure this is switched to the off position. restart the browser, and you're good to go and that optimization is complete. To apply the optimization if you're a Discord user and have Discord open when you play games, this can also help out a ton with micro stuttering with mouse lag and stuff, and I guarantee you should be seeing good results from doing this. So what you'll do is navigate down into Discord, go to the bottom left hand side and select user settings. With inside of here you'll then be going down to the appearance tab on the left hand side, scroll all the way down once again and you'll find the option for hardware acceleration, and again make sure this is switched to the off position just like so, and it will ask you to restart Discord. Turn it off and you're good to go. Another incredibly important optimization in which we're going to apply now is actually to do with our Windows page file. I'll explain what this is and how to optimize it as we go along. So to follow along with this optimization, which I highly recommend you do, you'll navigate down to the bottom left hand side, click on the Windows button and type in this PC just like so. Right click on this PC and go to properties. With inside of here we're going to be navigating to the left hand side onto advanced system settings. With inside of the advanced tab we're going to be going to performance and settings. We can then go to the advanced tab found here at the top, ensuring that processor scheduling is set for best performance of programs, and we can then go into the virtual memory tab found here. Click on the change button. Now with inside of here the option at the top will more than likely be selected, which is automatically manage paging file size for all drives. Simply go ahead and uncheck this option so we have manual control. Well, now with inside of here what we're going to be doing is optimizing where our paging file is for the best performance with inside of Windows. This helps on many games and again it's incredibly safe to do and I highly recommend doing it. So starting off we're going to be deleting all of the old paging files on our machine. Starting off with our C drive, simply go ahead and highlight your C drive, go down to no paging file and select set. You'll get a warning, that's fine, just press yes. We can then go down to the secondary drive and we're going to repeat this step for as many drives as you have installed into here. You'll more than likely not have the same amount of drives as me, you might have less, you might have more, or you might only just have one drive in here, but just simply follow these steps until you've done them to all of the drives. So again, repeat the steps for all drives in here, no paging file set, no paging file set, and no paging file set. Now what we're going to be doing is following the criteria in the top right hand side of the screen now to locate the best drive to install our paging file to. Number one best case scenario is going to be installing the paging file to any SSD on your system. So if you have an SSD installed, simply pick one of your SSDs, go ahead and put it onto that SSD. If you guys do not have an SSD installed but you have multiple hard drives, we always want to install our paging file to the hard drive which does not have our games installed to, as that hard drive is already being used up a lot on the usage of that and everything is just slowed down. So we want to put the paging file on the hard drive which does not have our games on. Last but not least, if you guys only have the one drive on your system, whether that be a hard drive or an SSD, we have no other options, so we're just going to be putting a cleaner paging file on one of those. So going off of that criteria, simply select the drive in which we're going to be installing the paging file to. For me, I'm going to be installing it to one of my SSDs, so simply select the drive you're going to be installing yours to, go down to System Manage Size, and hit Set. We can then press OK. It will then again give you a warning letting you know that you'll have to restart your PC before this takes effect. Press OK, press Apply, OK, and OK. It will then notify you to restart your PC for the changes to be applied. Simply go ahead and hit restart later, as we're going to be restarting after this video. Welcome back to the video, guys. You guys should have now restarted your PCs, be back on the video and ready to continue on with the last optimization. And the last optimization is actually inside of the FPS increase pack in which we downloaded earlier. We're going to be going inside of the optimizations folder and it will be a program called Timer Resolution. Simply go ahead and drag this program onto your desktop just like so, and I'll give you guys a quick demonstration and rundown of what this program does and how to use it. What this program does is it actually lowers the amount of latency between your hardware, operating system, and any games that you might be running, ensuring that you guys get the lowest input latency possible, the highest frame rate possible, helping reduce any input lag and giving you guys a much more snappier experience, and sometimes even reducing any stuttering you might be experiencing. I use this on every game, it's incredibly safe to do, and it's the second highest recommended thing I give to people on any machine. I've yet to see this give negative results, and you should always run this program when you play games. So for a demonstration on how you'll use the program and when to use the program, is before you go ahead and play your game or whatever it is you're going to be doing, you'll simply go ahead and boot into the program by double clicking, select the maximum button, which will set the lowest input time possible, minimize the program but ensuring it's still running. You'll then boot into your game, play it for however long you wish to do so. Once you're done playing, you'll exit out of the game, bring the program back up, select default to set it back to the normal Windows value, and exit out. And it is just that simple to use. So assuming that we've now gone through all of the optimizations and we're good to go and boot into our game, last but not least left to do is to actually go ahead and boot into time resolution by double clicking, selecting maximum, minimizing time resolution, heading onto the Battle.net launcher, and hitting play. And there you guys have it, my ultimate FPS increase guide for the Call of Duty Black Ops 4 Blackout Beta. There'll be another updated video coming out when the main game launches. Also, the 90 FPS cap might be lifted during the beta stage as well, in which we can really see how much FPS we can really squeeze out of this game. But that is the ultimate guide to increasing your FPS and performance within inside of the game. If you guys managed to find any more tips and tricks, or you just wish to share your results, questions, queries, or suggest more content for the channel, please do let me know all of that in the comments section down below. If you guys did enjoy this video and are happy with the results, please do leave a like on the video as it helps me out tremendously. And last but not least, if you guys do enjoy content like this and wish to stay updated instantly whenever I upload, please do press that subscription button and that bell notification. And with all that being said and done, thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. Hopefully the results have been more than worth it and you are pleased. I've been Panjno, and I'm out.